artist is more than just murder. He's like Cupid with a kink.
I'm gonna start with two big group questions inspired by something you posted on Instagram, Devon.
Uh-oh.
It struck a chord with me, and I think it's important.
Oh, no.
You wrote, "I like watching horror and comedy because it always allows me to temporarily escape the crazy world that I live in, and I like making it because do what you love."
Yeah.
So for the first half of that, can you each tell me a horror movie you like to watch when you need an escape? A horror movie that maybe functions as a comfort movie for you.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Mine's Jaws. It's not the worst in the world. Like, it's comforting. To me, it does not scare me. I do find comfort in Jaws.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I like The Shining. I think The Shining is I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I like watching it of recent because I now know that I've read the book and I've watched the movie and I like comparing the two, and I just think both are brilliant in their own ways, and so that's my.
I like The Others because the twist is so like out of left field. Yeah, is that a weird one? You guys
No,
are looking
it's
at me
not.
like,
No.
Listening to your mind.
I'll take all that. I turn to Final Destination and The Faculty, and then I feel
There you
better. So the back half of that now, leaning into the idea of this being you all doing what you love, can you remember the single moment of making Hard Eyes that brought you the most joy as an artist?
The dirtier the better for me. I'm with Gigi on that in terms of like if you can get blood and messy and in the action, you just really feel like as an actor, there's so much waiting and prepping and putting on makeup and memorizing lines that to just get down and dirty is really fun. So the action scenes for me.
I think things turn out better when everybody gets along, and this cast and crew became a little family in the short amount of time that we were there, and that's. It's kind of my thing. I just really loved everybody that I was working with.
Yeah.
So.
Filmmaking families make me happy. It's
Yeah.
important, and I think you see that kind of vibe in the end result in the finished product.
Yeah.
Totally. I think, honestly, my pride in this movie was day one being on a call sheet, not kidding, with these two and their names and this cast. Like, I was honored.
That's very nice of you.
Think about it. For me, it's like, okay, you're actually doing this now. Like, you're in it, you're a player, you're working with Jordana and Devon specifically. Olivia and Mason I've known so much about too, but these two, I had their posters on my wall.
Aww.
I had, in my house in Florida, I've had pictures of you guys on my wall. That's cool. So that was my pride, just getting to associate and work with these champs over here.
Can totally relate to that sitting in this room right now.
pretty cool.
So also a big contributor to that kind of vibe on set is the trickle-down effect. And I think Josh is one of the best, and I'll always take an opportunity to highlight him, especially because I think he's going to go on to make many, many other movies. For each of you, can you tell me something about working with him as an actor's director that you appreciated and you're excited for even more actors to get to experience on his future films?
He lets you play. There's a script, and the writers are incredible, and the script was phenomenal and so funny, but Josh absolutely lets you just take lead, go off script, try something new, and he just cheers you on in the background. You hear him laughing and encouraging you, and that to me was really fun.
I'll follow up on that briefly. Can you give me an example of a time when you got to play, maybe took a really big swing and thought to yourself, they are never going to use this, but now it's in the finished cut of the film?
Yeah, I think my scene with Olivia, I think it was our first scene together, where we were drinking Aperol Spritzes, talking. A lot of that was just, Josh was just go. And I was just trying to get her to break and laugh. And a lot of that made it in.
Good stuff.
Josh makes you feel comfortable on set, I think. I think that you can work with directors that are very serious, and maybe they're yellers, maybe they're, and it just becomes a tense environment, and it's hard to work through. But Josh keeps it light, and it's just it's a comfortable, safe place to explore things that may or may not work.
Yeah.
And when you hear Josh singing the theme to Shrek at the end of a take, you've just nailed it and you're moving on. So when you hear when somebody, you're like, oh,
Is that his monitor dance? Is that
his
always
monitor.
what that's amazing?
That was his monitor dance.
Jordana, how about for you?
Well, I feel like, to Devon's point, a lot of the times people torture themselves and forget that we're so lucky to be in this business.
Yeah.
And with Josh, whether it's hour 14 or day 30, he just was always in the best mood. And he was like a kid in a candy shop. And that energy is very contagious. And he could have a big head and be like Mr. Diva, but he's so lovely.
One of the days, we did a cut. I don't know if I should say this or not, but it was so fun. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and we started my scene, and it was like the last thing we were doing that night. And the props guy comes up to me, and he's like, hey, just so you know, this bottle of champagne is real, but what's in your glass is fake. So just like if you find yourself pouring more, that's real champagne, so we'll reset. And I was like, oh, give me the real stuff. And Josh was like, she can have whatever she wants to just like nail this scene. And I was like, I'll have some if you have some, Josh. And I'm pretty sure we cheers. And I walked off and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I should not. I think there was like clips that I like grabbed the bottle, and we had so much fun with this final scene at the drive-in at the very end. And we were just cracking up. And that was when like the set, it just was reality. We were just cracking up, and yeah. Should have called cut.
Without spoiling anything, I'll say I enjoyed that touch on the movie quite a bit. But now I will lift the spoiler warning for our viewers. We will guard this with our lives until the movie comes out. So goodbye to anyone who hasn't seen the movie. Push pause, go watch it, come back, push play. Starts right here. Jordana, you know I'm coming right your way now with this. I don't know if you...
Wait, I haven't seen it.
I don't know if you were told this when you were first pitched the role or maybe discovered it on your first read of the script, but what was your initial reaction when you realized you were the killer? One of the killers.
What I loved about it was like the kinky, weird aspect, because I was like, oh, that's something I haven't seen. And what I've discovered is like, I don't want to play the good guy anymore. I'm done with it. I just want to be evil and sadistic all
very
the time.
good at it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That final sequence is epic. I could sit here and break it down with you all day long. I don't have that kind of time, so I'm just going to ask you, what was the single most satisfying moment of that end sequence for you to film?
Being pegged to the wall with like and having to like suffocate, but also licking Yosan's face.
Oh my gosh.
It was just really, because I was like, I can't do that. I'm a lady. But then like by the fifth take, I was like, like just give it to me.
Was not ready for how pitch perfect you were going to be in that sequence. I love it. I'm going to wrap with one quick unrelated question, because our viewership is obviously obsessed with the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah.
You've got the last one coming up soon. Here's how I will get at it. Is there any like creative itch with that character or within that world that you have yet to scratch that you hope that final movie gives you the opportunity to do?
Yeah, big time. I would like to go back to the roots of the first one, kind of like what you were saying with Final Destination. I think it should be back in LA. I think it should be gritty, and I think Mia should go back to like being part of the group that's kicking some ass. Like,
yes,
she's gonna leave her mommy shoes behind.